Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Dwayne and John with you. And we're going to talk a little bit about the JV contest that really took on a whole different appearance, John, in the second half.
Yes, it really did.
West Prairie kind of just became the dominant team, especially first quarter and a half of the second half. They were the dominant team.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a big second half for them. It was able to stretch the lead out to 10 at one point, 12, more than what they had in the first half, obviously. But I think a big part of that was the play of Jensen Laughlin, Denver Mitchell, and really the whole team together, just being really good on both ends, putting up good shots, making their shots, and playing great defense.
Yeah, they played well as a team. The thing that I liked the most really about them in that first game was the fact that they found a lot of cutters and had some really good passes. And when they were making mistakes, they were trying to force some passes, which you don't like to see, but at least you got the idea down. You just got to maybe find that fine line that there is there sometime. We didn't get to go over points, so we'll go over points here. 3 players in double figures for the Ducks in the loss. 13 for a team high for Eli Hughes, 10 for Jackson Porter, and 11 for Jaron Boggs. 2 points for Luke Smith, who also had a technical. And 2 points for Thurston Sisson, and 6 points for Hunter Nichols. Hunter Nichols was 2 of 6 from the free throw line. 11 of 24 from the free throw line for the Ducks. Now, that's pretty poor shooting. They had the opportunity to make more than West Prairie shot. They didn't take advantage of that. For West Prairie, 17 for a game high for Jensen Laughlin. He finished 3 of 8 from the charity stripe, which I really thought it felt like he was better than that, but he finished 3 of 8 from the charity stripe. 15 points for Denver Mitchell. He had 3 3-pointers, and he was 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. 7 points for Ashton Barkley, who scored all his early in the game, the first quarter and early in the second quarter. And then there was 2 points for Cole Cordell, 5 points for Carter Powell, and 5 points for Mason Moore. The Cyclones, John, were only 8 of 16 from the charity stripe, so neither team shot very well from the free throw line.
I know, it's really surprising looking at that number there, because during the game it felt like the Cyclones just really pulled the game away from the charity stripe. And looking at Jensen Laughlin's number there, 3 of 8, that's actually very surprising to me. I figured he shot a lot better than that game, but
yeah, and I did too, but that's what it ended up. So a little bit of a surprise there, I guess. But these two teams look vastly different in that the height isn't much different for the Ducks, but the girth and the strength looks to be a lot different for the Savannah Ducks varsity squad.
Yeah, definitely a team that doesn't skip weight room days.
And we heard them, or I don't know if you were here yet, but the two head coaches talking before the game about football and how a lot of these Savannah Ducks players do play football, and they've been working out both ways. West Prairie, though, brings quite a bit more height to the court. Of course, they're missing Matthew Geltmacher, who is out for 3 weeks with a broken bone in his wrist or his lower arm. But a little bit different looking squad, and they got some kids that can shoot the rock. Andrew Sullivan had a huge game on senior night.
Oh, yeah. Andrew Sullivan, he's really a great player. When he's able to get it going, it's going to be a long night for the other team if he can get hot early here.
So Tyler Southwood, the head coach of the Ducks, and Greg Duncan, of course, the head coach of the Cyclones. Coach Duncan actually came on during the opening part of the night and talked to me in the pregame show of the Fresh Soft game. Pregame show is being brought to you by JoJo's Gaming Parlor. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. And we're going to get ready for the national anthem, I do believe. We'll let you hear the national anthem. So we'll do the starting lineups now. The Havana Ducks will be first.
Wearing number 2, senior,
Azariah Karen.
Wearing number 4, senior,
Tristan Pringle.
Wearing number 5, junior,
Taylon Porter will start as well, number 5.
Wearing number 13,
Wendell
junior,
Campona.
And wearing number 23, senior, Branson Shaw.
And Branson Shaw.
The Ducks are coached by Tyler Southwood and assisted by Craig Balls and Troy Ogeson.
I'm going to go in here and try to make a correction, folks. I forgot to change the timeouts at halftime there, or in between games.
Number 2, junior, Braxton Nunn. Wearing number 3, junior, Luke Shirey. Wearing number 21, senior, Brian Friday. Wearing number 23, senior, Andrew Sullivan. And wearing number 32, senior, Reagan Weaver. Your Cyclones are coached by Greg Duncan and assisted by Ian Conklin. Your officials for tonight's game are John Hiffen, Greg Johnson, and Wilbert Johnson. Good luck.
Who was the announcer there, John?
You know, I'm not sure. I was thinking about that while they were announcing. It sounded pretty good up there.
Was it Mr. Cox?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Sounded younger than that to me.
I would say so.
I wasn't going to go there, but when you kind of giggled, I was going to admit that I thought it sounded a bit younger than that. So for the Cyclones, starting here in the varsity contest, as we're underway, will be Braxton Dunn, Luke Shirey, Briar Friday, Andrew Sullivan, and Reagan Weaver. It's Shaw with it. Now he gives it to Porter. Porter, different number, 4 and 5. Shot on the way is off, no good, and I believe that the aforementioned Shaw is going to pick up his first foul just like that, and he does. His first, team's first. Dunn goes to Sullivan. Back to Dunn. Nope, that's not Dunn. Sorry, it was 3 Shirey, not 2. The Weaver. Now to a cutting Sullivan. Goes out of bounds. Going to be inbounded by Dunn. Into Friday. To Weaver. Ooh! we both had the same reaction. That was a pretty good shoulder block there by Azariah Karen.
I said we were talking before the game about how some of these players do look like football players, and that was a bit of a football move there.
Yes, it was. That was a good shot. Count it, and a foul. That's Briar Friday with the basket. The foul's going to be on number 5, Taylon Porter, his first, team's third already.
And, man, Briar Friday, he has been playing so good as of recently now that Matthew Gomonker has to sit with the injury. Just really a great player, both ends of the court. But I honestly think that he excels more on the defensive end, as you see him here, guarding number 4 and now switching off.
There goes Campana. Ball tipped away momentarily. Shaw gets it out to, is that Campana again? It was number 13, but the shot's off, no good. Rebound to the Cyclones. Nice little drive and a bucket by Luke Shirey, and it's a 5-0 lead for the Cyclones. There goes Pringle with it. Another Campana to Shaw. Over to Karen. He looks down to Shaw, doesn't take it. Now he's going to drive. Tries to go in. It's going to be a kick by Andrew Sullivan. Checking in for the Ducks is going to be number 10, Keane Shaw. Keane. I think that's Keane, isn't it?
I would say so.
And a 3 on the way.
Bit long.
Oh, we're going to call it off of, what are we calling that? I was going to say, the referee kind of pointed several different directions. I didn't know where he was going to go, but it's going to be Havana basketball. Capana's going to drive. He gets right to the rack. The layup's good. Foul's going to be called on Braxton Dunn. His first, team's first.
Didn't look like a whole lot of contact there, but the ref called it nonetheless.
First 2 points of the contest for the Ducks. And Wandell Capana hits the free throw. Just like West Prairie's first 3 points, they come on an old-fashioned three-point play for the Ducks. 5:58 to go here in the first quarter. 5:50 now remaining. West Prairie with the basketball, wearing white, the maroon, of course, for the Ducks. Nice look down inside to Friday, and he gets another 2 points. That gives him 5 on the contest and brings the lead back to 4 for the Cyclones, and then it's going to be tipped away by Sullivan out of bounds. It'll stay with the Ducks. Capana was over there as the supposed receiver, but Andrew Sullivan got a hand on it, wasn't able to control it, went out of bounds. Now there's Karen. He's going to give it to Keenshaw. Capana. A little struggle for Pringle, comes up with it. Nobody comes to pick him up, and he'll hit the bucket. Tristan Pringle cuts the lead to 2 one more time. This has kind of got the same feel as the JV game did when it started, doesn't it?
That's what it feels like.
Oh, nice inlet pass, a nice grab by Andrew Sullivan. And we're right back to a 4-point game. And a travel by Ariana Karen. Azarian Karen, I'm sorry. Azaria. Well, I'm butchering that all over the place. Azaria Karen, and we're going to take a timeout. It will be a media/COVID timeout, so we'll take our first break as well. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
McDonough District Hospital's Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center was built for one goal: to strengthen women's health services in the region's premier facility. Our dedicated staff, past and present, delivered generations of MDH babies, and now in the new Women's Center, our staff is ready to deliver the next generation and beyond. Come visit the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center and see for yourself the MDH difference.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School, 9-5. The Cyclones with the basketball as we'll get ready to come out of this extended COVID timeout. Helping to bring you this contest is United Community Bank. United Community Bank's services are designed to keep you in the game when you are on the go. With online and mobile banking, that's nothing but net. To friendly services you can count on from the leader of community banking. Choose UCB. It's always a slam dunk. Visit locations near you with branches in Bushnell, Colchester, and 2 in Macomb. UCB is a member FDIC. As we said, it will be Cyclones basketball. As Dunn brings it up, he goes to Sullivan. 4:45 remaining here in the first quarter. Of course, 8-minute quarters for varsity. Dunn. Oh, nice pass down to Sullivan, and Sullivan gets another 2. The largest lead of the game now for the Cyclones at 6, 11-5. Capana. Sorry, go ahead.
And just looking at the teams here early, right now on the floor for the Havana Ducks, there's just no length here to match up with Andrew Sullivan down low.
You're absolutely correct. And it's going to be kicked. That's off of Capana. That's a good call. He kicked it himself. He went to pick it up and was running. I think he was going to try a shot. Checking in for the Cyclones is Bailey Sullivan. And also going to, well, checking out, I guess running off the court's Reagan Weaver, not sure. He may have had to, well, we'll leave that alone. Steal, and then passed right back to the Cyclones. Shirey has it. He's going to go right side to Sullivan of the Bailey variety. Down low it goes to Andrew Sullivan again, and another easy bucket. They just, right now, you're exactly right. The Ducks have no answer for Andrew Sullivan in the post. And a travel by Capana. He kicked it away last time from the right side of the lane. That time he travels on the left side of the lane. It feels like he's trying to force a little bit here, doesn't it?
Really trying to make up for the points that he's given up on the other end there to Andrew Sullivan. looked like last possession he tried to front him, deny the post entry pass, but Andrew Sullivan was able to use his body. And
that time he did front him and knock it away. You're exactly right. I missed that last time, but you got it. Shirey, runners off, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it up, and it's going to be fouled. It won't go, but he'll get 2 free throws. It's going to be on Campana. Campana, his first, team's 4th. First one in quite some time, though. 3:18 to go in the first quarter. Shirey at the free throw line shooting 2. First one is good. Trying to make it a 10-point game here if he can hit the second. And he does. Give Luke Shirey 4 points, and it's 15-5. Keen Shaw with it on the dribble. Goes to Porter, and it's off no good. Rebound's going to go bouncing around, finally picked up by the Cyclones, and it's going to be Sullivan taking it down, Bailey Sullivan taking it down the floor. Inbound pass, or an inlet pass to the post to Sullivan was knocked away. He was fronted and backside help that time. He was double teamed.
And like I said, no one there to match up with him. The 3 goes through there.
Keen Shaw with 3.
No one on the court right now that can really match up to the stature of Andrew Sullivan, and he's just been feasting down there.
Friday has it knocked away. Campana, now he's going to go down the court to Porter again. Porter's layup is good. Talon Porter has 2.
Quick run there from the Havana Ducks, 5 points. And
Braxton Dunn says it's time to stop that. So he hits the tray. Gets 3 of those 5 right back. 18-10 is the score. Porter's going to inlet it into Shaw. Shaw goes down the corner to Campana. He's got an open baseline, drives, and he should have been fouled by Andrew Sullivan, I think, but there's no foul called. Probably have a little bit of a legitimate complaint if you're a Ducks fan there. And then Bailey Sullivan puts the hip check into Keen Shaw, knocks him out of bounds. A couple subs coming in for the Ducks, including number 21, Jason Cruz. Pringle's back in, as is Karen. Bailey Sullivan gets into Andrew Sullivan. He travels with it.
traveled there, but it almost looked like
he tried to go up after the fact, and then underneath him was Keen Shaw, who was trying to do backside help. But the thing is, if he just gets that ball, keeps it up high, none of those guys are tall enough to even probably out-jump him.
Not even close.
To get to where he holds the ball to, I mean.
That's what you get for being 6'5", huh?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know, but my brother knows. He tells me all the time how nice it is to be tall. There's an air ball. 1:10 remaining in the first quarter. 18-10 is the score. Cyclones with the lead. Sullivan's going to try it from the outside. It's off no good. Ball tipped by Friday. It's going to go out of bounds. Checking in for the Cyclones will be Reagan Weaver. It is Reagan, not Regan, right?
Yes, it is
okay.
Reagan. Yes,
I thought that, and then I thought I was saying it right, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me that I might have been saying it wrong. I've said it many, many times, but I don't know why it dawned on me then I could have been saying it wrong. It's probably somebody would have said something to me. I'd have been saying it wrong before.
Well, you'd think, but
48 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Oh, there's a little travel. That was Branson Shaw. That was a good thought, just wasn't good execution. You'll have that occasionally. Maybe one shot here if you're the Cyclones with 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Weaver looked down to a cutting Shirey, didn't throw it to him. Now Shirey gets it left wing with 31 seconds remaining. Oh, nice look down past the Dunn, and Dunn can't finish, but that was a great pass from Sullivan. And then we got an injury timeout as Branson Shaw gets up limping. He tripped over his own teammate, if I'm not mistaken. Capana is going to check back in, and also checking in for the Cyclones, number 5, Jensen Laughlin. Little extra break here for Braxton Dunn. 21 seconds here. Laughlin's been playing well tonight at the JV contest. Get a little extra minute or minute and a half for your starter and Dunn. And let Laughlin get a little action here in the varsity contest, but Havana is going to hold for one shot for sure now. They're down to 8 seconds. Capana with it. And there's an illegal pick by Jason Cruz. You can come up and pick somebody, right, John? But you can't come up and pick and push somebody, right?
And again, it's those football players using their football moves.
He was blocking instead of picking. There's Sullivan off, no good. Still plenty of time. A three-quarter court shot is going to be over the backboard. I thought it was going to be close, but it was just a little long. That's how quarter number 1 ends. The Cyclones with an 18-10 lead, and what was pretty good offense there in the middle stages of that quarter kind of went away. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
As we work together to stop the spread of COVID-19, McDonough District Hospital wants you to know that your health and safety are our #1 priority.
Our primary care providers are here to take care of you and your family's total well-being. Telehealth capabilities and the MDH Convenience Clinic all provide ease of access to our wide range of services.
All of this because we are committed to providing you quality and compassionate care that you have come to trust from us.
McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. Helping bring you this contest on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking. They can take your product down the road near or far and also offer top-notch heavy-duty truck and trailer repair. The second-generation business continues to grow and continues to support local athletics. Stop by and see Danny or Travis on Route 41 south of Prairie City, or call them on 309-775-3333. John and Elizabeth are hailing from Florida these days. That's Travis's mom and dad. They watch all the BPC contests. So they're probably watching the 8th grade game if it's still going on right now over in Bushnell. It'll be West Prairie basketball to start the second quarter. We are underway here. So that is Weaver with it. Shirey had to break the 5-foot barrier, didn't quite get it done, had to pass it instead on the dribble. Now that's Bailey Sullivan. Comes across to Shirey again. Bailey Sullivan for 3. It's in and out, no good. And Weaver's going to get called for the foul, I do believe. It is Weaver's first, team second.
The Cyclones there using a good chunk of time, and with a lead, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Now a little weave going up top. Pringle's going to drive, and I'm not sure what he was trying to do. Capon is going to come up with it, and he's going to miss, but he's going to be fouled. It might be undone. We'll wait and see. The official underneath called it, so he might have seen something a little different under. Nope, he didn't. It's going to be the second on Dunn. Third on the Cyclones. 2 free throws coming for number 13, Wandel Capana. He's 1 for 1 so far tonight. First one is good. Checking in for the Cyclones is going to be number 21, Briar Friday. Trying to go 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and he does. Does Capana. Nice to see some good free throw shooting here in this one. No matter which team it comes from. Weaver now is going to try and get it across. We get under the 7-minute mark here in the first half. Bailey Sullivan with it now. On the dribble. Capana nearly picking up a reaching foul. Sullivan, jumper is good for Andrew Sullivan.
Just held it up there where no one can get it and put it in.
Capana spin move, and he's fouled again. That might be on Andrew Sullivan.
I believe that one will be going on Andrew Sullivan.
It is, you're right. his first, team's fourth. 3 here already in the second quarter. They only had 1 in the first quarter, and we're 1 minute and 29 seconds in. First free throw's off by Capana.
So it appears our scoreboard here is wrong. It's still listed as the first quarter.
It is the second quarter, right?
It is, I do believe.
Usually I'm the one that doesn't do that.
I know, right?
You've learned that already. You're a game and a half in. Second free throw was good. Cuts the lead to 20-13. Shirey on the dribble. They're looking to double him up top. Skipping across to Bailey Sullivan. He's going to try and drive. A little bad spacing there. He's going to get it knocked away. Out of bounds, stay with the Cyclones. Bailey Sullivan came in and then couldn't get to, and Andrew was coming to the same spot he came to. A little bad spacing, but Andrew's going to inbound it now. So we'll get into Shirey, up to Bailey Sullivan. Now to Andrew Sullivan, who looks at the three, doesn't take it. Gives it back to Bailey. Bailey's going to drive, put up the shot. It's off, no good. The ball went by Friday out of bounds. And Friday was there for the rebound. Just kind of maybe the ball came off a little hotter than he expected to.
And Havana, coming out of that timeout, I believe, or I guess the end of the first quarter, they're looking a lot more aggressive on the defensive end, making the Cyclones just play faster than what they should be.
Making the taller guy and Sullivan pick up the pace a little bit. Drive by Porter is good.
And they've really done a good job here in the second quarter, shutting off that inlet pass to Sullivan on the low block.
Makes it a 5-point game, 20-15. Friday down on the block. Oh my goodness. Wow. They're going to call Friday for the flop charge.
He deserves an Oscar for that one.
That is a huge flop. You might have heard Coach Duncan say that's a flop, and he was absolutely right. It was 5 fouls apiece now for these two teams. Boy, if you can flop like that and get fouls on charges, you're going to get fouls all day long.
No kidding.
You'll foul everybody out. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. 3 on the way is off, no good. Shaw with a rebound. He's going to give it to Porter, over to Capana. He'll drive the baseline, cut off by Andrew Sullivan. Now it's going to be driving and a block from behind, as that was Karen driving.
So I believe Bailey Sullivan got a piece of that one.
Yep, knocked it out. You're absolutely right. We're going to take a break here with 4:50 to go in the first half. 20-15 is the score. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
During this COVID pandemic, it is important you take care of your health, especially your heart health. Do not ignore the signs of a heart attack or stroke. If you have health concerns, schedule an appointment with your provider, and always, in case of an emergency, call 911. This message brought to you by McDonough District Hospital and Blessing Health System. See for yourself why Blessing Health System is the leader in cardiology and pulmonology services. Appointments available inside MDH. Learn more at blessinghealth.org or MDH.
Welcome back to TSSR Live, Game Time Live, presented by MDH. 20-15 is the score. We're at the 4:50 mark of the second quarter. The Cyclones lead the Ducks. This game being brought to you by Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell. For over 100 years, Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell has been serving the local community's needs for personal and business banking, as well as home and agricultural lending. Stop by the main branch, 484 East Main Street in Bushnell, or their drive-up facility on Cole Street to learn more. F&M Bank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. And Square Music Company. Square Music offers instruments, gear, lessons, service, and more. Located at 122 Northside Square in Macomb. Call the Macomb store at 309-431-5484. You can also visit the Quincy location at 725 North Hampshire Street. If you don't like that, you find them online at squaremusic.com. So 4:50 to go in the first half. It's Ducks basketball as we come after the mask/COVID timeout. Capana for 3. It's off the front of the rim, no good. And then the Cyclones fight over it. The two Baileys fight over it. And then there to tie it up is Azaria Karen. And it's going to be possession to the Ducks. Porter to Karen. Now to Keenshaw to Kapana. And that time the 3 falls for Wandel Kapana. And just like that, it goes from a 10-point game to a 2-point game, 20-18. Andrew Sullivan with it, and he travels. And I think he really did there. He kind of took an odd step when he went to pass and then changed his pivot feet, I think. And another turnover and a chance to tie it or take a lead here for the Ducks. They have really settled things down here in this second quarter, John.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is just the defense that they've been playing. Really, like I said, making the Cyclones play at a pace that they're not comfortable with, and they're falling right into it. So
3:50 remaining, and then we're going to call another illegal pick. The block instead of the pick again, and that one's going to be on Branson Shaw. It'll be his second, team 6th. First one of the quarter, though, I do believe, for the Ducks. 3:40 remaining here in the first half. Bailey Shaw to Sullivan to Andrew Sullivan, and Sullivan's going to get the first bucket he's had in a while. The second bucket of the quarter, but he hasn't been nearly as active here in the second quarter.
And that's in big part just to the great defense that the Havana Ducks have been playing on him, almost doubling them down there on the low block and denying that post-entry pass to him.
To Friday, and his shot's off, no good, but he's going to be fouled. Could be Shaw or Porter. We'll see which one they call it on. Going to call it on Keenshaw, number 10. That'll be his first, team 7th. Free throw and shooting 2 for the Cyclones is number 21, Briar Friday. It's off the back of the rim, no good. Braxton Dunn checking back in. He's going to replace Andrew Sullivan. I think it's Andrew's first chance to take a break, isn't it?
I would say, I do believe so, yeah.
Second free throw is good. (23-18), back to a 5-point game. Campana. A lot of motion in this Havana Ducks offense, and there's a 2 by Karen, and then Pringle with the bucket.
Really a nice pass there to the cutting Pringle for the layup.
2:35 to go in the first half. Bailey Sullivan with it, now to Friday. From Dunn to Weaver. Weaver has it tipped away. Now to Friday. Friday's going to cut again. He's going to be fouled. Counted, and a foul. Bucket and a harm for Friday. The foul's going to be on. See who they called that on. He called the number so quick I missed it.
Either way, just a really nice back cut there from Briar Friday, and I think that's his second or third and one this half so far, and misses the free throw there, but he's been playing very good here to start the game.
Still not sure who they called that foul on down there. (25-20). Now we're going to call a foul on the other side. It's going to be on Shirey.
Some of the West Prairie fans there asking for a travel, but
Pringle's going to be shooting a 2, I do believe. First one is good. Second one's off, no good. 25-21 is the score. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Clock running. West Prairie with the ball and the lead here. 1:50 remaining. Skip across to Shirey. Shire's going to drive the baseline. Puts up the runner. It's good for Shirey. First of the second quarter for him. Back to a 6-point game, 27-21. It was down to 2 actually at one point. Porter shots off, no good. Bailey Sullivan with the rebound. Denver Mitchell getting ready to check in for the Cyclones. Also getting ready to check in for the Ducks. Number 2, Azaria Karen. Shirey for 3. It's off the back of the rim, no good. Ball tipped around, and it's going to be picked up. Shirey didn't have much choice. He grabbed it on the other side, knew it was going to be over and back, so he just had to heave it. It's a bad position, nothing he could do about it. Where he grabbed it, he could have let it go maybe. Friday is going to get beat on the baseline by Capana. That'll be a bucket for Wandel Capana. They'll cut it back to a 4-point game and a 30-second timeout charge to the Cyclones. Havana had a timeout as well earlier, I do believe. 27-23, 52.6 seconds remaining here in the first half. Game brought to you by McDonough Telephone Cooperative. This West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems in the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. And the ball nearly tipped out of bounds. Weaver tracks it down, though, and then he's going to have it stolen away by Pringle with 32 seconds left, and Pringle's layup is good. Pringle has come to life a little bit here in the second quarter, and it's 27-25.
And just a string of bad possessions here for the West Prairie Cyclones. Couple turnovers, and Ducksmen are able to convert on the other end. Bailey Sullivan puts up the jump shot, won't go.
What are we going to call? Jump ball, possession to West Prairie. There's Campana and Shirey, I believe, down there fighting for it. 12.4 seconds remaining. A little different, but the score is going to end up being just as close at the end of this varsity contest as it was the fresh soft. Then we're going to call the foul on Keen Shaw, his second. Free throw line, shooting 1 in bonus, number 3, Luke Shirey.
And again, good. These are big free throws here headed into the halftime break. Keep the momentum rolling for the Cyclones.
11.3 seconds remain. Second one is good as well. Makes it a 4-point game, 29-25. 10 seconds. 7. 5.
Cyclones get one back there.
Capana picks up the charge, and that was Capana's the one that flopped earlier, I think, wasn't it? Was it Capana that flopped earlier?
Doesn't really matter.
No, but it was a flop for sure, and that one was too. Both of them were flops. Both charge calls today were flops, and both teams have got one, so we're all even now. So that's the half, 29-25. The Cyclones lead the Ducks here at West Prairie High School. We'll take a short break. Actually, we're not going to take a break. If you listened or watched the Fresh Soft contest, you did hear a half of an interview with Coach Rodas from BWP Sparklones football team. We'll play the second half of that interview now here for everybody to listen. It'll be about 7 minutes, so it'll take a vast majority of this halftime session. But Coach Rodas had a lot of good things to say. If you missed the first half, you're welcome to go back to our Hewlett Public Pro LLC YouTube channel and watch that game. Go to the halftime and listen to that. But here's the second half of that interview from earlier tonight.
That implies or entails then you will be 8-man next year?
Yes, we will be 8-man. That was board approved, and we've gotten the schedule, and we see that we have them game 1.
So how nervous are you about that?
It's going to be a transition for sure, and having, as you just said, the spring season, and what's even a little bit scarier is that sports could go until the end of June.
Right.
And I'm not, I understand what's going to happen. All the parents and all the families are going to want to go on vacation in July.
Right.
And who blames them? That's the only time they're going to have a break.
Right.
So, I've got to try to figure out how to transition my mind, the kids' mind, into an 8-man thing, which we are going to try to make it as much like what we're doing now as we can.
I mean, at a certain point, especially this first year, you can't change everything.
No,
I mean, you're going to be kind of in a place where you have such a short turnaround period that you're going to have to incorporate as much of this stuff. And maybe it won't work as well in the first year, but you can change that.
Change what don't work, right?
I can't imagine when you're trying to get ready for this football season to try and figure out your play calling or whatever you're going to have for 8-man in the fall. I mean,
talking with Coach McCormick a little bit and going over some offensive scheming stuff, this year is going to have to be completely different, even because our guys have had a year and a year and a half off or whatever it is, and we're only going to have 6 weeks of football. We're going to have to simplify some stuff and make sure that we are, getting these plays down really well and make sure we're ready to go. We don't want to get anybody hurt. We want to know what everybody's doing. And
everything that we've just talked about, I'm sure you put that aside and you're happy that these kids are going to at least get back on the football field for their senior year.
Definitely. And this is just getting them back together for their senior year and the last chance to be a Spark clone is huge for me, huge for our kids. We actually get to play as a team knowing that, this is going to be it. And we need to make sure it works and we do what we can. We've got a schedule that's pretty tough this spring. So we're going to see what we can do with it and, hope for the best. But more importantly to us is how we're going to work as a team, and work, these guys have built some friendships that are going to last a lifetime, whether they're from there or here or wherever. And I want to make sure they leave this year with those intact,
Now, you were on this coaching staff the first year too, right?
Yeah. No,
you weren't.
No.
You went to Lewiston, didn't you, the first year? So, so I think, is Coach Arnold the only coach in the co-op that's coached every year?
He's coached track.
Tony has coached track the whole time, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So there's not a whole lot of coaches that have been here that whole time. I know when this thing changed, we didn't expect it to be over in 5 or 6 years.
No,
7.
No, we definitely thought it would keep running, and unfortunately, things didn't pan out. But I can tell you, I am so excited to see how our kids have came together. Is amazing. We've co-op before with Avon and things, it never fails. Our kids always work well together. It's never the kids, issues.
Right. It's never kids have a problem. It's the parents that have the problem, or adults beyond that, or whatever the case may be.
Let's say adults. Yeah, it's either way. But, and to see our parents working together now, a few years ago, that it was hard to get them to work together because it's a distance to drive if you're trying to plan secondary events on top of it.
Right.
To get one parent over here or over there. And it's been happening in the last couple of years. I mean, we've had good parent support from both places, and things were really moving. So it's sad to see this chapter end. But I think at some point after this spring deal's over, we'll be excited to start our next chapter, just as I'm sure they're going to be excited too.
So everybody keeps saying, it's going to be so horrible for football players. The spring's going to be so horrible. I coached baseball with Coach Arnold. We started on February 28th last year, March 1 year, March 2nd a couple times. It's cold, but what I've told everybody, just look at it as the opposite of what a normal season is. You're starting when it's colder, and you're going to end when it's a little warmer. It's not going to be, now granted, we just got out of -10 or 50, whatever, but odds are, it's very, very unlikely we have any more of that. It's not going to be that cold, especially by the time you get to the end of March, middle of April.
Sure. That's true. And I will tell Coach Arnold this because he throws that back in my face. I said, But when it rains or it snows, Coach Arnold's inside. Yep. We're going to be out in it. Yep. We don't have that choice.
The only thing I can say is we played at Ridgewood one year, and the wind was blowing about 30 miles an hour, and it was 35 degrees.
Yeah.
And Coach Arnold and I both thought that it was going to cancel. It was overcast. And it was cold.
Right.
Our kids were hiding on the bus or behind the building to try to stay out of the wind. I mean, it was miserable.
Yeah.
So if it's not raining there, you have to play in it. But you guys have to play in it. Snow, rain, sleet, whatever. As long as it's not lightning, you're still going to be out there.
You're still going to be out there playing in it.
So what's your thought on practice? Are you going to try to practice in it too, or are you going to stay in here if the weather's bad?
Well, we've talked to the administration about kind of what they would like us to see, and they've gave us a chart, with the temperature, with the wind, and how long you're supposed to be out there, and we're not going to want to be out there as any more than they do, and we're going to venture out every day probably, and then see if we need to come inside, do chalk talk, watch film. With Huddle now, we'll get to watch so much film that it's going to
you can fill any day you need to.
We need to, yeah. And we can learn a lot from that too. So,
well, Huddle's going to look a little different next year, but it's it's a lot. It's pretty much the same as normal this year, right?
Right. Yeah. No, it's going to be, the same guys are going to be out there. We're losing a pretty good senior group this year from both schools, I think, and. Whether we're going to 8 or 11, we're going to miss those guys just like we miss every senior that we've ever had.
Right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you stopping by and talking to us. It's actually a pretty long interview here.
Yeah.
we got jabbering.
We got talking. That's what happens.
So we'll have to have it over probably during two half times.
There you go.
We'll cut it in half. But
there you go.
Coach Rodis, good luck. We will talk to you after games.
All right. I look forward to it.
You'll be able to be on the big screen, so don't be acting a fool out there too much because we might get you on camera.
On the camera? I'm sure you will, and I'm sure you'll catch me in some fine moments. I know I get to watch you guys catch Coach Snyder in fine moments, so I'm sure it's going to happen to me. I'm ready for it.
It's not if, but when, right?
Yes, that's right.
All right, we'll be right back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True convection cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. That was Coach Rodis. Well, it was a week or two ago, but we played the first half in the JV contest, so go listen to that if you get a chance. And then we will you can hear what he had to say to begin with. But Coach Rodis, a good dude, trying to make this last BWP football season the best it can be is with what it is. 6 games, spring football. What more could you ask for? It's third quarter action. 29-25. West Prairie leads the Cyclones. Or West Prairie leads the Ducks, and Capana gets a basket right off the bat. Cuts it to 2.
And we'll see if Havana can pick up where they left off in the second quarter. They're playing a whole lot better than they did in the first quarter, able to shut off the passes inside. Briar Friday puts up a 3-bit long.
Capana back the other way now. 7:25 to go in the third quarter. Pringle with it. Keene. Shaw to Branson Shaw, who travels with it. Keene and Branson of the Shaw variety, and we have Bailey and Andrew of the Sullivan variety on the other team. So 29-27, 7:15 to go in the third quarter. Cyclones with the basketball in the lead. Andrew Sullivan with it, goes to Weaver, to a cutting Shirey. His shot's off, no good. Off the floor, he picks it up, sets the offense back up with 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Andrew Sullivan looks down to Friday. I believe that is over there. It is. Weaver for 3. It's long, and it's going to be rebounded by Pringle. 6:49 to go. in the third quarter. Capana to Pringle to Karen. Karen drives around Sullivan, gets it to Branson Shaw. His shot's off, no good, and then there's going to be a foul on the Ducks. It's going to be on Pringle. That'll be his second. Team's first of the second half.
And that's one thing about this Cyclones team that makes them pretty dangerous, is that everyone on this team can shoot the ball. As you see, Reagan Weaver took a three-pointer last possession. Couldn't get it to fall, but.
Oh, and then the two on a great look in the block bounces out for him. 6:20 to go. Capana now is going to be fouled. The basket's going to be good, and Braxton Dunn's going to pick up the foul. That's his third, and we're tied. And Capana has a chance to give the Ducks their first lead of the game, maybe. This is his second and one. And just like the first, it's good. And the Ducks have a lead, 30-29.
I don't know if we were able to pick it up, but the coach for the Cyclones, Greg Duncan, telling his guys to play with a bit more pace here. Tell them to get up the floor, play better transition defense. So let's see if they abide by that.
The thing I noticed too, John, is Sullivan, Andrew, has not been in the post much at all.
No, I don't know if that's just him. It looks like he has been trying to work down there to get open, but the Van Ducks have been playing a good job closing them off.
Dunn gets a bucket, gives his team the lead back, 31-30. Since they started double teaming, fronting, and then help side backside defense on Sullivan, he has really been shut down and has really left the interior to go around to the outside around the three-point line.
But the
you can't get up with the basketball, and a timeout's going to be called by the Ducks. Yeah, timeout by the Ducks to save the ball.
Said that was a travel there, but missed by the refs.
Can't get my timeouts to disappear. I apologize for that. 31-30. Coach Duncan still saying he stood up, which he did. 5:24 to go here in the third quarter. 31-30 is the score.
They say little to no argument there on that call.
Sometimes you miss little things, and it just happens.
Like we said, as long as the ref doesn't call it, it didn't happen. So
yeah, that's how it works. And you can't allow yourself, no matter what's going on, you can't allow yourself to get frustrated and make more mistakes because of something you think should have been or shouldn't have been called.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So Keen Shaw with it to Capana. Now back up to Karen. He's going to drive, and right to the lane he goes. He went right around Sullivan but couldn't finish. That's going to be Bailey Sullivan with it. He's going to drive, has it kicked away by Keen Shaw. Back the other way for Pringle. 5:04 to go, and Pringle's going to pull up from the free throw line. Give to Capana, top of the key for three. It's good.
The Havana Ducks here are starting to pull away a little bit.
33-31. They have outscored the Cyclones 7-2 here in the third quarter, I do believe. Sullivan to Friday to Weaver down low. His shot's up and in.
Finally able to abuse the size mismatch that they had down there. Again, that wasn't Sullivan, but
Capana right back the other way. That's that transition defense that Coach Duncan was talking about.
So the guys just aren't getting up the floor quick enough to contest these layups in transition.
Branson Shaw's going to knock it out of bounds. Timeout on the floor is going to be the COVID/media timeout. We'll take a break as well. We'll be right back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance in the weight room.
Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. We're in the media timeout. 35-33 is the score. Havana with the lead. 4:17 to go in quarter number 3. This game brought to you by M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store. We'll be celebrating its 60th anniversary in June. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the county and offers top-notch customer service, free delivery within 40 miles, and the best in-home appliance repair in the area. For everything you need to furnish your new home or to replenish an old one, stop in and see the folks at 481 West Main Street in Bushnell, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.mbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111. And a Bushnell Banking Center, a branch of Raritan State Bank, located at 360 South Green Street in Bushnell, offers full-service banking and loan services for all of your banking needs. Come visit the bank, a friendly service, or call them at 309-772-2345. Good luck, Cyclones. Bushnell Banking Center is an equal housing lender and a member FDIC. So it will be West Prairie basketball after the timeout. 4:17 to go here in the third quarter. They now trail by 2. Sullivan looks down to the other Sullivan, who picks up his dribble, double team, gets it out to Shirey. And a 1-3-1 press, or a 1-3-1 zone now, as Sullivan's from the right elbow off, no good. Rebound by Bailey Sullivan, and to put back. So Branson Shaw is going to give it to Campana now. 3:45 remaining. We're knotted at 35. It's quarter number 3. Pringle. Yep, that's a block. That's a good call.
Feet were still moving there. Just couldn't get set for Friday.
It'll be Briar Friday, his second.
Looks like they're going to call that one on the ground.
Yep. Keem Shaw over to Campana. He looks for 3, drives the lane, puts up the runner. It's good. That kid has got some skill.
That was just a great finish there. Over 3 people was able to roll it up and in. Not to mention the couple 3-pointers that he has in this game so far.
3:20 remaining. Shirey picks up his dribble, gives it to Friday. 3:15 remaining. Looks the baseline. Now out to Weaver, cutting to Bailey Shaw. Shaw's blocked from behind. I think Campana is going to pick that up, but that looked pretty clean up top. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it really did there. Thought they would let that one play through, but
that's the third on Campana.
It's a foul,
team foul number 2.
Let's see if Bailey Sullivan can make him pay for that.
.309 to go here in quarter number 3. Free throw is good for Bailey Sullivan. Chance to knot it up at 37s now, as Andrew Sullivan's going to take a seat. Braxton Dunn checks back in. Shirey, Bailey Sullivan, Weaver, and Friday on the floor for the Cyclones. And Bailey Sullivan hits the second. .37 apiece off of a Cyclone out of bounds to the Ducks with 3:04 remaining in the third quarter. The pace is faster, but the clock is moving slower, it feels like. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I have. And one of those reasons that the pace has picked up here is just, as we've been saying, the defense from the Havana Ducks.
And a 3 by Pringle. Don't let me cut you off. Go right ahead.
I was just going to say, the defense here, I mean, they are just suffocating almost. Every time there's a drive, everyone crashes, and the Cyclones just haven't been able to figure it out yet. And honestly, it's lucky that this is only a 3-point game.
Counted in a foul for Briar Friday.
Oh, goodness.
That's the third one of these he'll have attempt at. He made the first and missed the second.
And really, Briar Friday has stepped up in a big way here with Matthew Gilmocker going down with the injury.
And that's the second on Taylon Porter. Free throw is good. And we're knotted back at 40.
Van Ducks being very patient here on offense, trying to find a shot that they want to take.
2:23 left in the third quarter. That's Jason Cruz back in the game. Cruz was out of bounds when he got handed the ball. Not much he could do about that. Taylon Porter handed it to him. If he'd let it go, it would have been out of bounds, so there's nothing he could do. Just bad timing there for Porter to hand Cruz the ball. So it's 2:09 to go in the third quarter. We're knotted at 40. And the Cyclones with the first chance to take a lead here for the first time in quite some time. Weaver has it. Now they're in a man-to-man. They've landed 1-3-1 and man here that I've caught in the second half. Friday's jumper's off no good. Rebound to Porter, and he'll take it back the other way in a hurry. Taylor Porter is going to back it out. Give it to Karen. Now he's going to go to Keen Shaw. His jump running one-hander's off no good. Almost a layup, but a little far out to really call it a layup, and it's off no good. Bailey Sullivan has it. He'll take it back the other way. 1:33 to go for the Cyclones here in quarter number 3. Again, still 40-40. Seems like the scoring picks up early in a quarter for both these teams, and then it kind of dwindles a little bit towards the end. It's done that in almost every quarter.
And that could have something to do with fatigue, as we have heard Greg Duncan talk about. His players telling them that they are not playing with enough pace and getting too tired.
And Shirey for 3. His first points of the second half and gives his team a 3-point lead. Now running one-hander's off no good. It's tipped around, finally picked up by Shirey, and he'll get it out to Dunn with 54 seconds remaining in the third quarter. To Shirey, will he take another one? No, he's going to back it out. Thinks better of it. 48 seconds left. Azaria Karen comes out to guard. Oh, nice bounce pass to Dunn. That was Weaver, wasn't it? A great bounce pass from Weaver to Dunn, and Dunn's going to be fouled. The foul's going to be on Keen Shaw. That'll be his third. 43.4 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Dunn's going to be shooting 2 free throws for the Cyclones.
And that's another thing with this West Prairie team is Braxton Dunn gets the free throw to go. They have their 2 main facilitators in Luke Shirey and Braxton Dunn, the main ball handlers if you will, but everybody on this team can pass the ball, and they do it with a lot of efficiency. So
Branson Shaw and Wandel Kapana checking back in. And another free throw for Braxton Dunn. And back to a 5-point lead now, 45-40. Kapana to Karen. 33 seconds left. Porter to Karen to Braxton Shaw. Now to Kapana. 25 seconds. Porter cutting. Going to get the shot up. It's off no good. Shaw with the rebound. It's blocked.
Ooh.
And Weaver is going to pick up the foul. It looked pretty clean, but he may have been down low a little bit. That's Weaver's second. Team foul number 3. Branson Shaw hits the first. It's his first points of the game.
It looks like the Cyclones will put in Ashton Barkley and Aaron Sullivan coming back in the game for Reagan Weaver and I believe Bailey Sullivan.
And Braxton Dunn took a seat too.
Maybe that's who I was thinking of.
Rebound. 12 seconds. Bailey Sullivan wanted to get it to Friday, I think, and now Kapana's going to check back in with a chance to get a little bucket here. He saw the white shirt of Coach Duncan and thought it was a player, maybe.
That's kind of what I was thinking there.
You'd be surprised how often that stuff happens.
It was really a great catch there from Coach Duncan.
There's a 3 on the way. It's off no good for Porter. And with 0.1 seconds left, it's going to be out of bounds off of Andrew Sullivan.
It's right here. No way to get a shot off.
Going to take a 30-second timeout for the Ducks. Going to try and set up a tip play, I would imagine. Help bring this contest here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is Tri-County Seeds, your local Golden Harvest seed advisor. Located in Scioto, Illinois, rooted in genetics, agronomy, and service for over 10 years. Contact Nate Todd at 309-333-3437 for all your Golden Harvest corn, soybean, and seed treatment needs. And where this quarter started for the Cyclones and where it is ending is 2 different things. It was a 5-point lead at one point for the Ducks after trailing by 4 to open the quarter, but Cyclones regained their momentum a little bit and got their feet back under them and lead by 4 here with 0.1 seconds left in the third quarter. And it ends just like that. They tried to lob, but when you got the tallest kid in the building guarding it on the inbound, it's pretty hard to get a lob to a shorter guy that has to be behind him. That's how we'll end quarter number 3. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. He said, you better come home because there's no roof. He said, I look up and see the sky. He didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, you know, but Country Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. It is West Prairie leading Havana 45-41. 4 team fouls for the Ducks, 3 for the Cyclones there in the third quarter. And if at the 4-minute mark of that third quarter, John, if you just said the Cyclones were going to lead by 4 at the end of the quarter, I don't think most people in the gym would have believed you at that point.
You know they wouldn't. It was really a nice turnaround there towards the end of the quarter, and as you can see, the Cyclones are benefiting from that with the 4-point lead.
So a nice look down from Dunn to Weaver and a timeout. And it's going to be just that quick for Coach Southwood, as he is less than impressed. And he says, I don't know if you just heard that, but he just told the seniors to talk, and maybe they'll listen to each other. Campana is talking now, and that's sometimes you need your leadership to step up, and I think that's really what West Prairie did. Their leadership stepped up in that fourth quarter or third quarter when things were kind of trailing away from them a little bit. The kids stepped up. Coach Duncan called a timeout, but the kids really changed the way they were playing. That's what Coach Southwood trying to do here for his Havana Ducks. 7:53 to go in a ball game. It's 47-41, a 6-point lead for the Cyclones.
And as you say that, I mean, I would say the seniors for this West Prairie team, they've really stepped up, took these younger guys under their wing, and as of recent, it's really paid off. I mean, this is really just a tight-knit group of guys out here playing for them, and sometimes that's all you need.
Pringle's going to drive. Shots off, no good. Weaver gets the rebound. .7:30 remaining here in the basketball game. Done with it. 47-41, Cyclones with the lead in the basketball. Andrew Sullivan for 3.
Gets that one to go from about 2 feet behind the line.
9-point lead, and that's not what Havana needs to see the Cyclones do. If you're a Havana Ducks fan, Andrew Sullivan on senior night just lit it up in the first half of that game, and he's trying to find it here in the fourth quarter as well. Porter tries to answer with a 3. It does not work. It's going to go, it's tipped off the backboard to Weaver, actually, and Dunn's going to have it up the other way for the Cyclones. 6:45 to go. Shirey with it. Pringle is not that much shorter than Andrew Sullivan, actually.
But Andrew, I mean, when you look at him, look at his stature, being the tallest guy out there, and, I mean, he plays like it.
Yeah, the difference between Pringle's probably only about 3 or 4 inches shorter. There's a nice feed to Sullivan again. And the Cyclones open it up a little bit. They're up by double digits, 52-41, an 11-point lead for the Cyclones now. Karen with it. 6:05 to go in the fourth quarter. Branson Shaw has a shot blocked by Andrew Sullivan, and Dunn's going to take it back the other way. 5:54 to go. Bailey Shaw for 3. It's off, no good.
So it looked like maybe they stepped out of bounds there. Surprised that it wasn't called. But
I think that Oh, and a nice save and outlet to Dunn, and Dunn is going to back. Nope, he's going to take it in. Oh, he gets it right across to Weaver. Weaver trailing a play, and Dunn keeping his head up on the dribble, and it's a 13-point lead, the largest lead of the game for the Cyclones.
And man, that was a beautiful no-look feed there from Braxton Dunn. As it seems like the Cyclones have really woken up here in the fourth quarter, really stretching the lead out. So
about as much noise as you can make with 50 people or whatever supposedly here. Runners off, no good. Weaver with the rebound, and the wheels are coming off for the Havana Ducks here with 4:58 remaining. It's 54-41, and Pringle is going to come out and foul, and a line change is coming. We saw this in the fresh soft game as well, and a line change coming, and it's going to be the media timeout as Pringle picks up the foul, and almost like he saw the guys over there and he was wanting to get out of the basketball game. We'll take a break as well with the media timeout. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH right after this.
McDonough District Hospital's Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center was built for one goal: to strengthen women's health services in the region's premier facility. Our dedicated staff, past and present, delivered generations of MDH babies, and now in the new Women's Center, our staff is ready to deliver the next generation and beyond. Come visit the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center and see for yourself the MDH difference.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. Helping to bring you this contest tonight is the Community News Brief. The Community News Brief is a free publication distributed to over 68 locations in Bushnell, Macomb, Colchester, Industry, Adair, and even more towns in between. It provides local news to McDonough County and parts of Fulton County every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. To submit a press release or to get advertising information for the locally owned publication, contact Lynn at 309-333-8245 or email them communitybrief@gmail.com. Well, we said it coming into this quarter, John, that maybe you wouldn't have expected a 5-point lead, but it has been literally, and I mean literally, all West Prairie here in the fourth quarter. The Ducks haven't scored yet.
They have not, and
that's Shirey on the bucket, and that would have been a charge in the first half.
No, but I mean, the energy the Cyclones team has been playing with here in the past 6 minutes has just been unbelievable, and I think that's what they can thank to have this lead. It's just the energy and
the line change came in for the Ducks. Number 42, Corey Drew, is in. Keen Shaw, and Drew's going to get a bucket. First 2 points of the quarter for the Ducks. Also in, looks to be number 23, Branson Shaw. No, that's not number 23. It's 33, excuse me. Jackson Porter. Number 22 is in. That's Christopher Towery. Keenshaw's in. Cruz, got the knock away, but then Weaver gets the inlet pass, a bucket.
Another nice feed there from Braxton Dunn, able to get the ball inside.
58-43.
Van Ducks passing the ball around here up top.
Down it goes to Jackson Porter, His shot's off, no good. Dunn with the rebound. He's going to be fouled by Keen Shaw. That's foul number 4 on him. That's going to be foul number 6 on the Ducks. So the Cyclones will be in free throws the rest of the way. 3-10, Shirey on a pass from Weaver, and Shirey is going to get a bucket.
This Cyclones team, they've just been passing the ball very well. Another nice one there from Reagan Weaver, able to fit that in that little window there.
I don't think Southwood's going to put his starters back in.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with the game the way it is, there's really no point.
I think Coach Duncan kind of expected him to take him out and put him back in, but he hasn't done it yet, and here come the subs for the Cyclones. All 4 of them they have available, all but one have played so far tonight already. Keen Shaw is going to set it back up. They might not get a chance to go in at this rate.
Yeah, Havana being extremely patient here, just looking for the shot that they know they want to take. And
Keen Shaw will take the three. It's off, no good. Cruz with the rebound. He gives it to Towery. Nope, that's Jackson Porter, excuse me. And Porter's going to get it to fall. (60 to 45), a 15-point lead. Andrew Sullivan gives it to Dunn, to Shirey. Under 2 minutes to go now. Andrew Shaw with it. Shirey's going to drive, pull up, bounces off the rim, no good. And Weaver's going to get the steal, and he's going to go to Dunn. Dunn's going to get the basket, and a timeout's going to be called just for subs. Dunn gets 2 more.
yeah, if I were to guess, this is probably going to be the last we've seen from the West Prairie Cyclone starters tonight. But
Braden Earhart is in for the Ducks, and number 30 is number 34. Number 44 is Eli Hughes. That's not Eli Hughes, is it? I guess it is, isn't it? Now that he looks so different in the 44 instead of the 5 for the Cyclones. In as well. There's a 3 by Christopher Towery. Denver Mitchell on the floor. Shirey still over there. Laughlin is in there. And I think they're going to call Denver Mitchell on the foul. You can't score, get in the scorebook one way or another there, Denver. So they always used to laugh at me whenever I'd foul somebody when I wasn't scoring. Got to be in the scorebook somehow. Oh, there's a bucket by number 34, Braden Earhart.
nice little floater jump shot combo there, and whatever you want to call it, but a bucket nonetheless.
Ashton Barkley is in the game, as is Carter Powell.
Like
56 seconds left, and yeah, there was probably a foul there. Is that what you're getting ready to say?
That's exactly what I was going to say. It looks like he caught him with the body a little bit, but
referees know that the subs are in. We're going to let it play a little bit and try to get this one over with. Neither team, Cyclones are in the bonus, so if they call a foul, Cyclones have to shoot here. 40 seconds. Shirey still with it. 33 seconds. Go over to Carter Powell. Down. Oh, his pass is taken away by number 22, Towery.
Not enough mustard on that one to get through.
And then Drew had it in his hands and was thinking about what he was going to do before he caught the ball out of bounds to the Cyclones with 20.8 seconds left. They lead 62-50. 15 seconds left. They have to get across. Coach Southwood saying stay up. Followed by a don't foul. But Towery getting up in the face here. Hughes up in Mitchell's face as well. And then he knocks the pass away. Mitchell gets it back. And that's going to be the end of the ball game. The Cyclones beat the Ducks 62-50 here in varsity action. We'll take a break, and we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live with Coach's interview and the postgame show in just a minute.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance in the weight room.
Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. It's time for the post-game show brought to you by JoJo's Gaming Parlor. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH Events live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 Cole Street in Bushnell, and cheer on our area teams to victory. I thank all the sponsors. Of course, McDonough District Hospital, MDH, is the presenting sponsor of TSSR Game Time Live. Thank you for voting McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center as best of the best in McDonough County. Let their experienced and detailed sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best in 2017, 2018, 2019, and again in 2020. 3 convenient locations to serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. So, John, your first time on the camera and under the headset. Pretty good game. There's Lester Fowler. I tried to get old Lester to come up here on a volleyball night and help me or Greg do some volleyball, but I learned everything I know about volleyball from Lester Fowler. Did you know that?
I did.
Had nothing to do with watching volleyball from Terry Paul. It all came from going to an 8th grade state tournament with Rick Battles and Lester Fowler. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? He said he'll leave me alone, and I'm going to get him on the air one of these days. We'll get Coach Duncan under the headset. We didn't get to the stats as I was giving Lester Fowler a hard time, but yeah, if you want to. We turn the light on and a button right back there too, underneath the big knob. I don't know if he's – yeah, I guess you need to see, don't you? Light it up a little bit, but where Coach is sitting, it's a little nicer. We got more light, but we'll turn it on anyway. And Coach, John and I said it at the end of the third quarter. If you'd have watched the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, I don't think anybody in the gym expected West Prairie, except maybe you, to be ahead by 5 points at the end of the third quarter. The way Havana played so well, and then you guys just responded. And once you responded, you never looked back.
Yeah, we did. We took it on the chin there the first 3 or 4 minutes, and our goal is always to win that first 4 minutes of every quarter to put us in a good spot for the rest of the half. And we kind of come out and we're a little flat, but the boys responded really well, and we shared the ball as good or if not better than what we did the other night against Rushville.
11 of 13 from the charity stripe will get you some wins too, won't it?
Yes, it will, and that's kind of was our downfall early in the year. There were some games where we were 7 of 14 and 7 of 11, and the numbers weren't very good, and I kind of challenged our kids to, hey, those are free points. No one's guarding you. We have a good group of shooters that need to be out there shooting the basketball, and there's no reason why they can't make free throws.
I thought obviously you guys shot well, but in the beginning of the game, Andrew Sullivan was your spark plug because they didn't have anybody to guard him. Then they started fronting and backside help on him, and then he kind of got out of the rhythm a little bit, and then other people took over.
Yeah, our game plan coming in early, we knew we could kind of take advantage of that. The size advantage with Andrew down there, and they just really didn't have enough size to match up with him, and we took advantage of it early. We scored early on it, and then they started fronting and putting that backside help right behind him, and it kind of stifled him. But, like most teams that are peaking at the right time and playing good basketball in March, someone else stepped up and looked to score and attack the basket.
One of the biggest things, the other things John and I talked about was the passing. Braxton Dunn, he had some nice passes tonight.
He does. He sees the floor about as well as any high school kid I know around here. That's from all the efforts and putting in the hard work in summertime and playing in traveling leagues and AAU basketball. And he sees the floor really well, and he loves to distribute the basketball. He likes to score it, and he can score it at will. But, his passing's been impressive the last 2 or 3 games.
We talked about 11 of 13 from the charity stripe. That'll win you a lot of games. 4 players in double figures will win you a lot of games too.
Yes, it will, and that's impressive. I didn't know that stat. We had 5 the other night in Rushville when we scored 81 points, and I think we scored 60-some tonight.
62 to 50.
So 62 and 4 guys in double figures. That's a good job of sharing the basketball, and when we don't rely on one person, we can be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot. And Briar Friday, I think, is getting a little more playing time with Geltmacher out, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 3 and 1s tonight. He completed 2 of the 3. He played a dang good game for you guys.
He does. Briar's got a very uncanny knack of getting to the basket when he gets the basketball. He cuts really hard. He drives to the basket, and he finds ways to put it in. And those and ones are, like I said, they're free throw to make get a free point there. And he's done a great job the last 2 games. He had 17 against Rushville, and
he finished with 11 tonight.
And 11 tonight. Those are 2 back-to-back good games for him, and that's really, I'm excited for Briar.
Andrew Sullivan had 15, 13 for Luke Shirey, and 11 for Braxton Dunn. And Braxton probably had his hands on half of the rest of the points with assists, I would imagine, or close to it.
Yeah, I would think he probably had 5 or 6 assists, maybe even more there. That fourth quarter, he saw the floor really well.
Yeah.
That first play out of the fourth quarter, I think we got a roll.
Andrew Sullivan, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe
no,
Reagan.
It was Weaver,
yeah. It was down to Reagan, and Reagan got that nice look. And, I mean, no one sees the floor better than that.
Well, and we said when Sullivan, Andrew hit that 3, he didn't hit a 3 early in the game, but when he hit that 3 in the fourth quarter, that almost felt like, okay, he's starting to do that. Havana's probably in trouble.
Yeah, Andrew's a rare, he can shoot the ball from outside, and everybody thinks he's a shooter, and we started putting him inside in the post a little bit, even without Matt and without Reagan. And, when we put him down the post, he's lethal. He's just getting better and better every day down there.
He's got this, I think he's got the skill set. I don't know if he's got the athletic ability because I haven't seen him, but he could play a decent level of college basketball. He's got that size and frame and stuff. I don't know if he's got the athletic ability or not, but he's kind of got that look to him.
He does. He's one of those stretch kids that can shoot it from outside that every college kid likes, that stretch 4,
right,
where he can go inside and he can step back and hit a 3. I don't know what Andrew wants to do. I think he would like to play baseball. He's a very good pitcher. And I think he'll be really successful this spring with the Sparklones, and will be very beneficial to their baseball team.
Well, he's got that good build too. So I mean, I used to coach baseball. You get a tall kid like that, long arms, he can really whip it.
Yep,
he's got an Randy Johnson look to him.
Yes, and I think he throws in the mid-80s, so I think he can bring it. He can bring it to the plate pretty good.
And in the whole scheme of things, he's still young, so he can. I mean, yeah, he's a senior, but he can do. He's still got a lot of time to get better.
Oh, absolutely.
At whatever he chooses to do. But, Coach, thanks for coming on at the pregame with us. I enjoyed that. And this game, I mean, you guys, that Campana, that kid he's a player. Isn't he?
He's a good player. The last 3 teams we played, I told our boys they have some kids that can score at will, and if we don't defend well, it'll be trouble for us. The Campana kid, and then the Jones kid, I think, from A-Town, and then Danny Stevens from Southeastern, and that's our last 2 more games. And if we don't defend those guys, they can put up a big number on us.
Now, we said that game is the last game. I've heard crazy numbers coming from that Stevens kid from Southeastern.
Yeah, he can score it. He can handle the basketball. I think he's the real deal. For a sophomore, he put up 44 one game, and I know he put up in the 30s a couple times.
I heard he put up 50 a night or 2 ago.
I didn't hear that one, but I heard 44 for sure. But, yeah, he can score it, so we're going to have to find a way to defend him too.
Now, certain times like that, I've heard people telling me that he doesn't necessarily – the rest of the team doesn't score much. He tends to score a lot of their points.
Yeah.
So, but they're still winning games. So the whole theory, that you hear some people say, well, we'll let him get his and we'll keep everybody else from scoring. Apparently, it doesn't work with Southeastern, huh?
No, not. Sometimes he's getting his, and I know the Ramsey Fry kid had a really good game when they beat Quincy Notre Dame the other night down at Southeastern, and I watched a little bit of that. And if they get him going and somebody else going with him, they're really tough to beat. But we just got to find a way to guard him and hopefully limit the number of points we have. And if we share the basketball, I think our other 5 kids or other 4 kids are better than their 4.
Well, I won't get to see any more this year. Greg and Ethan will probably see you as we go down the stretch here. But before we let you out of here tonight, what has been your take for this basketball season? We got another game or 2 with you, of course, but what's been your take?
All along I just wanted the kids to play games. It's a little bit of a different season. I kind of took a different mindset with how we prepare. We're preparing the same way, but with no end goal of a regional championship, a sectional, a super sectional, trip to state. I just want my kids to play games and have fun. But at the same time, we still got to continue to build with that underclass group. I want the seniors to get as many games as they can to have that, senior year. And so we've kind of just, have done a good job of.
I'll move that out of your way. I'm sorry.
We've done a good job of really being active and playing and making it enjoyable.
And I think that's been a key for everybody. Just the fact that the kids are getting to play is a great thing, even if it has been screwed up and a pain in the butt sometimes and crazy and for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted the kids to play, so there can't as crazy as it's been and the big of the pain in the butt has been, you can't really complain because the kids are finally getting to play.
No, exactly. You know, I also coach high school golf in Macomb, and we had a season, and there wasn't any question about it because it was an outdoor sport. But, you know, I really felt bad for these seniors in December. You know, basketball season should have been halfway over, and here we are, haven't even started yet. And I thought to myself, man, I feel bad for Andrew and Matthew and Reagan and Breyer. They put so much time and effort in this program for 3 years for it to all go by the wayside. That broke my heart.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming up here and talking to us on the post-game show here. I don't even know if anybody's still watching. We've been talking quite a while. I still got 26 people. So 26 people at least care about what you're saying.
Well, that's a good thing. At least somebody's listening.
That's better than 5 or 4 or better than 25.
Exactly.
So take it where you can get it, I guess. Well, Coach, thanks. Good luck the rest of the year, and we'll see you. If we don't see you before, we'll see you next year.
Sounds good. I thank you very much for doing this. And once again, you know, I'm always thankful for having you guys here, putting these games out to the world and letting family members who can't be here see it. So I really do appreciate it.
You mentioned your mom watches every.
My mom and dad watch every night from Peoria.
So you want to say hi? Because they've got to be one of the 26
they
still
might
watching.
Be because they always listen to the post game. So hi, John. Hi, Judy. How are you guys? Love you. We'll see you soon.
So, okay, we'll let you get out of here now. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep, thanks. Have a good night.
All right, we'll give it back to John for just a second here as we get ready to close out. I'll go while he's getting his headset on. 10 points for Tristan Pringle, 4 points for Talon Porter, 3 points for Keen Shaw, 23 points for Wandel Campana. Christopher Towery, 3, 1 of 2 for 1 point for Branson Shaw, 2 points for Jackson Porter, 2 points for Braden Earhart, and 2 points for Corey Drew. For the Cyclones, a team high 15 for Andrew Sullivan, 11 for Briar Friday, 13 for Luke Shirey, 11 for Braxton Dunn, 4 for Bailey Sullivan, and 8 for Reagan Weaver. First time under the headset, first time on a camera. I want to thank you. Did a great job. Oh, wait, I got to turn your back up. Sorry, I turned it down. But I want to thank you. Did a great job. Hopefully we'll get to see a lot more of you.
Yeah, hopefully. I had a great time, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come out here and do this. So
we got some they're out playing a little horse, it looks like here. But we have you doing some football maybe and some volleyball and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get to see each other a few more times, get to get up here and put these games on for everyone who can't be here in attendance. So.
All right, well, that'll do it here from West Prairie High School. Again, 62-50. Cyclones get a win over the Havana Ducks. Tomorrow night, Ethan will be back here at the high school for our only contest of the evening. Tomorrow night is here from the high school. So thanks for watching TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We will see you again very soon.